McHale who gets the catch. He's got patrol.
Attacker number 2, Ava Benson. Senior midfielder number 3, Drea Barnes. Senior midfielder number 5, Sierra Dimmel. Senior midfielder number 7, Audrey Schaefer. Senior attacker number 9, Rachel Stifter. Senior defender number 10, Kaylee Nelson. Senior defender number 11, Regina Ziegler. Senior defender, number 13, Samantha Betterman. Junior midfielder, number 17, Callie Kuhnen. Senior defender, number 24, Alice Feist. And senior goalkeeper, number 0, Olivia Null. The assistant coaches are Sasha Van Voorhees and Des Freeman. And the head coach is Mr. James Kay. Bears fans, are you ready? I said, Bears fans, are you ready? It's time to meet the starting lineup for your White Bear League Bears. Junior offender number 2, Sam Perkins. Junior forward number 3, Kayla Henderson. Freshman midfielder number 4, Lauren Ackerley. Senior defender number 5, Courtney Crump. Junior midfielder number 6, Bella Heckman. Sophomore defender number 9, Marion Schoberl. Senior midfielder number 10, Erica Townley. Freshman forward number 20, Haley Highland. Junior forward number 22, Anna Ricci. Junior defender number 25, Madison Carroll. And sophomore goalkeeper number 1, Kristen Lear. The assistant coaches are Sarah Forrestel, Mike Wick, and Marie Cox. And the co-head coaches are Dave Ashley and John Durkheisen.
Good evening and welcome to White Bear Stadium as we are just about ready for the start of the second half of our doubleheader. So we will not have the national anthem as Kirk Purcell did an excellent job of it the first time around. Both these teams won their first conference matchup as Roseville 3-1-2 on the season, 1-0 with a 2-1 victory over Mounds View, and White Bear with a 5-2 record, currently number 5 in the state of Minnesota in the AA rankings, and they are 1-0 as they defeated Cretin-Durham Hall 5-1 last Thursday to be undefeated here in the Suburban East. We'll take a quick look here at the Suburban East standings as, again, White Bear number 5, Stillwater number 6. It would not surprise me at all if East Ridge gets in the top 10 sooner rather than later. White Bear's only losses were to Matamidi, who of course is a Class A powerhouse, and the Wayzata Trojans, who are currently number 2 in the state. Roseville had 2 scoreless draws with Spring Lake Park and Bloomington Jefferson, beat the North St. Paul Polars 2-0, was shut out by the Central Minute Maids 3-0, and then beat Mounds View, as we mentioned, and had a huge win on Saturday against the Tartan Titans, winning 8-0. So far, leading in points for the Raiders is Callie Tuominen, 2 goals, 2 assists. And also up there is Sierra Dimmel, who had a great game on Thursday. And Rachel Stifter and Rayleigh Wallace, each with 3 goals on the season. There is Rachel Stifter, a good multi-sport athlete for the Raiders. And the Bears have 2 of the best goal scorers in the Metro, Claire Oddmark, with 9 goals on the season. And there you see Kayla Anderson. She is only a junior. I'm guessing she's going to be looked at by a lot of colleges throughout the state of Minnesota. 8 goals, 4 assists already on the year. White Bear is going with their sophomore goalie tonight, Tristan Lehner. She's played in 3 games, good save percentage of 76%, and a goals against just shy of 3.4. Roseville is going with Bella DiGiorno, who has had an excellent season so far, 3-1-1. Save percentage of 86%, which is outstanding, and a goals against average, .76, including 3 shutouts. White Bear in their home, orange and black. Roseville in their road, white and black. Again, these teams, of course, met in 2016 and 17. They were both shutouts by the Bears. In 2016, that was October 4th, at Roseville. White Bear won 4-0. And then, actually, that was at White Bear, pardon me. And then just shy of a year to this day, on September 12th, White Bear shut out the Raiders at Roseville 5-0. So the past 2 years, they have a 9-0 record on Roseville. Actually, Roseville is not going with Bella DiGiorno. This looks to be Olivia Null. She had a shutout in, I'm guessing, one of the earlier games in the season, the 2 scoreless draws. Nice play there by Erica Townley. I think she had a sister, Kate, who was a phenomenal athlete. It certainly runs in the family. Again, as I mentioned during the boys' game, both of these women's programs very strong, but especially in girls basketball and girls hockey. Fought for at midfield, that's Townley again, along with Stifter. Lead pass intended for Drea Barnes, fails to connect. Roseville has at least 4 girls on this team that also play basketball. They were 4th in the state last year. Hustling down is Drea Barnes, centering kick, and that's cleared out of harm's way. This one bounces back in the White Bear end. That'll be kicked out of danger by Marin Schoberl. Her older brother was a great athlete at White Bear, and her father's a good friend of mine from Hamlin. He was on the basketball team back in the day. I think he was an excellent basketball player back at Hastings. And of course with the Pipers. Back at midfield, played there by Roseville Sam Betterman, the captain on this year's team. Roseville hustling down, good chance between 2 defenders, but that gets slowed up smartly by the defense. Madison Carroll in there along with Schoberl to break that up as this goes high in the air out to midfield by Tristan Lehner. Drea Barnes has been around the ball an awful lot here so far. Again, just over 3 minutes gone here in the first half. Roseville had some serious injuries last year. Kaylee Nelson only played 4 games due to a knee injury, then was the captain on the basketball team. I believe she's already got a scholarship for hoops to Minnesota Duluth. And then Alice Feist, one of their top defenders, missed all of 2017 with a knee injury. Coming in, good centering kick, but that's a little behind the White Bear attacker. That was Anna Racine. And then Kimmy LaPalme, who played a lot as an 8th grader, tore her ACL, so she is the student manager this year as a freshman. And unfortunately, you can't redshirt in high school. It looks like for the Gophers, Rodney Smith, their all Big Ten running back, might get a 6th year of eligibility. He's already graduated from the U of M. Nice job by the Bears controlling in the Roseville zone. That's Isabella Heckman. The junior has 2 assists on the year. And, White Bear was the #1 seed in a loaded Section 4A in 4AA in 2017. They beat Tartan 7-0 before losing a heartbreaker to the #4 seed, number 14 in the QRF, Mounds View, in a shootout. Quickly coming down for the Bears. Good centering kick intended for Townley, but that will go out of play. I think that was Haley Highland with the pass. She's only a freshman. There's 2 freshmen starting right now for the Bears. That certainly bodes well for their future. Highland and Eckerly. They will get a corner kick out of this, and it will be Courtney Crouch, a senior. Very high in the air. Headed down. Roseville trying to control it right in front of the net. That was dangerous, but the Bears will get it back. This is Showborough. Through 2 defenders in front of the net. Nifty move there. Trying a left foot shot was Kayla Anderson, but good work by Roseville again. About 10 feet in front of the goal. I'd like to thank those of you watching live on CTV Sports. That's where Roseville is based out of, the 9-city conglomerate. We've got Roseville, Mounds View, Irondale, and St. Anthony. Nice footwork there by Anderson again, only a junior. That was sent forward by Regina Ziegler. Throw in coming up. This will be Haley Highland. Yeah, it is going to be Roseville throw in instead. Roseville with 4 defenders, pretty much playing as the last unit in front of goaltender Olivia Knoll. She's a senior, and Bella DiGiorno, who started the last game against Mounds View, a junior. Nice job on the near side by Drea Barnes again. And finally 2 defenders come over to steal it away. That was Carol and Showborough again. There you see Tristan Lehner. Both teams have the luxury of having 2 very good goalies, so you don't lose too much when you play your backup. Nice job by Sam Burkett. She has 4 assists on the year. Back out to near midfield. There's Dimmel for Roseville. That was Ava Benson. Good tackle there, right by the Roseville bench. And we'll have a White Bear free kick, I believe.
Free kick, White Bear Lake.
That one goes well into Roseville territory. The Bears take it back. That was Isabella Heckman. So a Bears throw in from near midfield. Bears head coach is, actually co-head coaches, Dave Ashley and John Dickersing.
Goal kick, Roseville.
So Olivia Knoll with the kick here. Again, for those of you watching live on September 12th, CTV Sports and 6-3 Productions will have an excellent volleyball matchup for you. As Our St. Paul Polars from right around this area will travel to Roseville. And both teams are currently undefeated. The Polars are 7-0, and Roseville's 3-0. It sounds like SEC is going to pick that one up. That's good to hear. Right there in front of the net, good opportunity by Racine again, but two defenders take it away at the last minute. Nice play by Showborough. She's been around the ball an awful lot already here in the first 10 minutes. Sent forward. Last Roseville game we covered against Moundsview, it was scoreless at halftime. Roseville went up 2-0, and Moundsview made it 2-1, but too late to get the equalizer. Ziegler sends it to the middle. Dimmel after it there for the Raiders. Good play by Highland. And drifting along the near sideline. Nice play there by Showborough once more. There's a chance for the Bears again, looking for a centering attempt, and Roseville with a couple too many defenders there. Quickly back the other way. Showborough hustling after the ball, getting it by Rachel Stifter, stolen away by the Raiders. Nice play there by Twominen. Oh, they tried to spring Barnes and intercepted there smartly by Showborough. And Marin Showborough only a sophomore. This will be a White Bear throw-in by Racine. Or maybe not. It's going to be Showborough instead. Again, what they do for the girls and boys games is they just switch the officials around a little bit. One of the linesmen becomes the referee for the girls game and vice versa. That's out of bounds off of Carroll. If I didn't know any better, I'd say the two linesmen look like brothers. Headed up in the air by Ellie King. She had some excellent opportunities in the game against Moundsview. Again, Roseville scored more than they did in the previous 5 contests in beating Tartan 8-0. Nice lead pass from Townley to Racine. Shot saved by Knoll. Rebound, another save by Olivia Knoll. My goodness. Eckerly, Racine, Townley collaborating there on 2 of the best scoring chances you're going to find. And this will be, oh boy, this is going to be a penalty kick on a foul in the offensive box. We'll take another look at it here. Great feed there. It was Townley to Racine, back to Townley with the first opportunity, and then Eckerly with another great chance. And unfortunately for Roseville, it's going to lead to a penalty kick. That was a beauty. Townley with her 3rd goal on the season. But it was a definite foul just inside the box where it is going to be a penalty kick, so it was the right call. As Showborough is going to get a well-deserved breather. She's been running all over the place. And we'll take another look at it here. Yeah, absolutely nothing Null could do on that one. As James Cave, the Roseville head coach, and one of his assistants, Des Cremine, having a chat with the linesman as far as maybe the call. Sent to the near side, played there by Drea Barnes. Ava Benson, Barnes, Kaylee Nelson, and Sam Betterman all on the Roseville basketball team. And Kaylee just a great all-around multi-sport athlete. The Nelson family has a lot of really good athletes. Throw in again by the Bears. And White Bear last year was 14-3. They were undefeated in the Suburban East. That was not easy, especially with teams like Stillwater and Eastridge. And the Ponies were knocked off by Eastridge of all things. And again, White Bear was beat by Moundsview, so Eastridge made it to the state tournament. But White Bear was 13-2 in the regular season, number 5 in the QRF rankings, and won 10 in a row to finish the regular season, which is just amazing. 14 minutes gone here in the first half, still 1-0 Bears. So this started on September 12th against Roseville, of all things. They had 4 shutouts in those 10 games, 3 games where they only gave up a goal. This will drift deep into Roseville territory, played there smartly by Kaylee Nelson. 2-0, and she'll chip it out of there. Quickly back the other way by the Bears. That was a great job there by Lauren Eckerly again, the freshman. Bullet put on, but that'll go wide of the net by Townley. She was looking for back-to-back goals. But during that stretch, actually White Bear won 13 out of 14. The only team to beat them was the Edina Hornets at Braemar. White Bear beat Roseville by 5, Forest Lake by 7, Burnsville by 2, back-to-back shutouts over Woodbury and Eastridge. Close win over Moundsview 4-3. Maybe that was a premonition of things to come. 7-1, both over North St. Paul and the Spring Lake Park Panthers. 4-2 in a game for the conference title over Stillwater, and then 3-0 to wrap things up against Cottage Grove.
Goal kick, Roseville.
And of course, White Bear with a lot of players from that very strong team on the team this year. The Bears started off with a close 4-3 win at Centennial, beat the Eastview Lightning 5-1, lost at Matamidi. Not really much of a road trip. No will come in. Oh, that got deflected. Now it's fought for along the goal line. This could be a corner kick again, but it looks like it's going to be a goal kick for Roseville, although that was close. Great pressure put on by Townley again. And there you see Rayleigh Wallace. She's in the game for the first time. She has 3 goals on the year. And 3 wins in a row over Lakeville South, the Southwest Lakers 5-2, Cretan 5-1, before losing to Wayzata. Again, Wayzata number 2 in the state, and that was 2-1. White Bear with a chance maybe to get some revenge against Edina from the loss last year. Edina currently number 1 in the state, and the Bears host the Hornets on September 15th. Good long kick forward. White Bear with 3 attackers. Lead pass there for Racine. Racine trying to get by the defender, and a nice job by Knoll at the side of the net. Nice hustle back by Sam Betterman to make it a little more difficult. There's a nice play for Audrey Schaefer. So now Roseville hustling back down. Lead pass there for Barnes. Good job by the defense, but unable to get much of a shot off. And an easy save there for Tristan Lehner. At halftime, we're going to have an interview from Sports Path. But first, the Bears threatening again. This will go off a Roseville defender, I believe, so we'll have a White Bear corner. We'll have new North St. Paul football coach Gene Tagland.
Corner
We
kick.
also have a new
White Bear
hockey
line.
coach. Hopefully he can help resurrect the program. And we'll also have interview with some of the local first responders on their memories from 9/11. 2-0 Bears. Looked to be Courtney Crouch. Take another look. Again, these set pieces can
Here's
be ever so
goal
dangerous.
scored by number 3, Kayla Anderson.
That was way off. It was Anderson.
Anderson scoring in the 19th minute of play for the Bears.
So a penalty kick and a corner kick lead to a 2-0 lead for the Bears. So that is Kayla Anderson's 9th goal on the year. She is now tied senior Claire Udmark for the team lead. I would dare say that's got to be among the tops in the Metro. That one just went by everybody, and
Free kick, White Bear line.
tough chance there for the Roseville defense. And the Bears do not lose too many games when they get a 2-goal lead. So the free kick here for Courtney. That was a beauty.
Oh crap, I'm right in front of the microphone.
Haley Highland over there for White Bear. Actually, I think they might have put in one of their JV players. They did. This is Charlie Adam, a sophomore. You see Rayleigh Wallace again, a sophomore for the Raiders. Roseville last year had a tough season, 6-10, 1-7 in the Suburban East. Although they did a nice job on defense, only giving up 2.3 goals a game. Ellie King hustling after it for Roseville. Nice work by Madison Carroll of the Bears. Again, just to show you how strong the White Bear was last year. They averaged almost 4 goals a game and gave up just over 1.
During the boys' game, so sorry, but we're going to have to 86 the chicken cordon bleu.
That's too bad. I like chicken cordon bleu. Allison Werman and Elsa Horsted checking in for Roseville. Elsa's older brother is one of Roseville's best athletes in recent memory. He's an excellent football, basketball, and baseball player. He is now a senior at Princeton in the Ivy League, playing both football and baseball.
Goal kick, White Bear line.
So the Bears with a goal kick. That is Lehner. Nice job down there by Marin Schoberl again. This is skimming along the turf quickly. Sent back the other way by Nelson. Nice work there by Allison Werman. As Chloe Simonek, a freshman, also checking in for the Bears. They called up a few players from their JV team for tonight's game. And the 4 teams that won their first conference matchup, of course, Roseville, White Bear, and then Stillwater and Eastridge. No surprises there. Woodbury has not played a conference game yet. They'll play tonight. And then the 4 losing teams were Creighton, Park, Forest Lake. They're 1-4. And again, Mounds View still looking for a win in the soccer season.
Free kick, Roseville.
Roseville with a free kick as we're past the midway point here of the first half. So throw-in coming up for the Bears. Again, in the boys matchup, it was 4-0 Roseville at the half. The Bears answered with 2 in the second, but could not get any closer as Roseville has now won 3 in a row in boys soccer, and they've evened up the record at 3-3, 2-0 in the conference. And the Bears are now 1-1 in the Suburban East. Yeah, both, well, the Lake Conference, the Suburban East, and the Northwest Suburban heavily represented in the state top 10. From the Lake, you've got the 1, 2, and 4 schools, Edina, Wayzata, and Minnetonka, respectively. Here's another chance for the Bears. Coming down is Kayla Anderson, looking for her 10th on the year, between 4 defenders, and coming out with it is Racine. Over on the far side for Charlie Adam, the sophomore just called up from the JV. Good work there by Heckman. And Carroll. Roseville trying to take it away. And they finally do. Good job there by Schaefer and company. Also in there, I think, was Marie Nottestad. And Alice Feist doing a great job also. You can see her with the big knee brace. Again, she had a heavy-duty knee injury in 2017. There is Sam Betterman, the captain for Roseville, as we have a few substitutions. Audrey Schaefer will get a break. Her older sister was a great soccer and basketball player, both at Roseville and St. Mary's. I had the pleasure of announcing with her for the Moundsview doubleheader last Thursday. It'll just drift out of bounds for a throw-in for the Bears. And headed up in the air, dangerous spot there for White Bear. Let the Bears keep it in. Nice play there again by Showborough. Boy, poor sophomore, she is a real heads-up player. This will bounce in on Null, and she'll take it over. So the Lake with 3 of the top 4. Then you have the Egan Wildcats in 3rd. They're undefeated. White Bear Stillwater at 5 and 6. And then from the Northwest Suburban, 7 through 10 respectively, you've got the Champlain Park Rebels, 6-0. Andover, Blaine, and Centennial. And again, White Bear beat Centennial 4-3 in their first contest of the season on August 23rd. Good kick there by Kayla Anderson, and some contact with the Roseville player. Nothing called. This will drift out of play again. So besides playing Stillwater, White Bear will play against 4 other very highly ranked teams, especially Wayzata Edina. They're 1-2 in the state. Just over 13 minutes left in the first half. Goals by Townley on the penalty kick at 12:38, and then Anderson on the corner kick at 18 and a half minutes. I thought Courtney Crouch might have gotten a part of that as well. Good job by the defense, and rolling over is Laner to take it away from a Roseville attacker. Out of bounds, that went off of Tostengard, I believe.
Free kick, White Bear Lake.
very high in the air, close to the net. Goes by the White Bear attackers. They had to stay on sides. Now back out to midfield. There is Schoberl again. I think she's been around the ball more than anybody else here tonight. Back the other way, there is Heckman. Played there smartly by Racine. Racine, nice centering kick there for Anderson. Anderson between two defenders, and a good tackle there as Roseville got the ball before they got Kayla. Otherwise, that might have been another penalty kick. Nice play there by Feist. Excuse me, there, I had a frog in my throat. Thrown in here by Schoberl again. Back out is Roseville attempting to clear the zone again. It's tough to keep track of time of possession, but White Bears certainly with the advantage. Nice play by Ellie King. Yeah, she gets it to Sierra Dimmel. She has a goal and 3 assists. Here come the Bears again, and no. Nice job as Audrey Pharisee doing a good job using her body to protect the ball so Null could play it. I don't think that's what Dimmel wanted. This is Schoberl again. Substitution coming from the Bears as Morgan Windingstad will get a breather. As Crouch checking back in. Played there by Heckman. So we're under 10 minutes left in the half. High and over the head of a couple of players. And White Bear will defuse the situation. Another throw in for Roseville. This will be Anna Tostengard, a senior. As I was mentioning before, Section 4AA is loaded for Bear. Big chance for Roseville in front of the net, and unable to get to it was Elsa Horsted. She was there on the doorstep, but nice job by Lehner to scoop it up. Well, last year, 6 of the top 25 teams in the state, QRF-wise, were in this section. And Central last year was 12-3-2. And you had Woodbury, Mounds View, and of course Eastridge, Stillwater, and White Bear all in the top 10. This will be a Roseville free kick. There you see Erica Townley. She scored the first goal on the evening. Her third on the season. And I think her older sister really did well in the past against Roseville. And usually I announce for CTV Sports in Roseville. It's my 30th year of announcing. I started in 1989. There's some favorite early memories of matchups against White Bear. A collision there. That was Heckman and Wehrman colliding. Again, as I mentioned, Jamie Ogden and his gorilla dunks. He was really fun to watch against Roseville. Of course, certainly the best baseball player in the state. Here quickly comes White Bear the other way. This is Racine, shot in a goal. Roseville's defense hustling back, but couldn't get there in time. Racine with a beautiful effort, and she makes it 3-0. Yep, she got by both Roseville defenders. Kaylee Nelson ended up being the closest, and really not much Noel could have done on that one. And I had an inkling that White Bear was going to win this one, maybe handily, but it was certainly looking like that again in the boys' game. Roseville was up 4-0 at halftime, and White Bear, the ladies, are pretty much doing a 180 in this contest. Of course, White Bear's had a phenomenal hockey program for as long as I can remember. Mike Schwartz was their coach for quite some time, excellent coach. Then he went on to Augsburg. Of course, Bill Butters and his son Ben were coaching for quite a while. And now Tim Sager's done a really good job with the program. And of course, you now have the very new Vadnais Heights Sports Center. That'll go out of bounds for a quick White Bear throw-in. Again, this will be Showboro. You also have the Vadnais Dome that a lot of friends of mine use for senior softball during the winter. Nice play there by Feist. Again, she missed all of 2017 with that knee injury. Yeah, that was quite the snowstorm. I mentioned to my father to stay in Arizona a few more weeks. I'm glad I did. As part of that blizzard, the dome collapsed. Of course, that's happened before on occasion. It's still a really nice all-around facility. That's headed forward. And I thought I heard a whistle, but yeah, the Bears are going to play it by the far sideline. 5 minutes left here in the half. Goals by Townley, Anderson, and Racine. Headed down to the turf, smart play by Feist. And again, White Bear showing you why they're number 5 in the state. And probably will stay that way for a while. And shouldn't have too much trouble with Forest Lake, and then get ready for that huge matchup at home against Edina, one of the few teams they lost to in 2017. This is nice. In most press boxes, you have to turn all the lights on. Instead, it's just in this segment. Hustling down is Highland again, the freshman. 2 defenders there for Roseville. Now in the middle, there's Kayla Anderson. She scored the second goal of the evening, sent out by Roseville briefly. Yeah, the Bears are going to be a force to be reckoned with this year. And at least in the conference, those 2 matchups late ought to be huge. At home on September 20th against Eastridge, and then at those darn Ponies on October 2nd. Those 2 will probably determine the conference champion. 3.5 to go. There's a man I knew a bit who started up the sports site The Horn, and now he's doing very well at KFAN. Actually heard him hosting the high school football scoreboard on Friday night, Mr. Alverson. This drifts over towards the far sideline, and Roseville attempting to keep it in. White Bear turning it back, and then Tostengard with it. And is still trying to make a play on it with 2.5 left. The Bears hustling down again, trying to equal the Roseville boys' output for the first half. Kaylee Nelson doing a nice job on defense. And now the Bears regrouping. I think that was Anderson. Collision there. Nice move by Heckman. Now between two defenders. Sent back the other way by Werman. Roseville back the other way with just over 90 seconds left. Nice defensive work there by Carroll. High towards midfield. There is Dimmel. Good little lead pass. They try a give and go, and Dimmel cannot quite keep it in. So Sherburl again with a very quick throw in. You see Tristan Lehner. Nice low goal kick.
Less than a minute remaining.
Goes out to midfield. White Bear controlling. I'm going to take an educated guess here that we're not going to get another goal. That way we can hopefully get these two interviews in time. We're going to send it to Sports Path with North St. Paul football coach Gene Tagland, and then an interview with first responders on their memories of 9/11. Here at halftime, White Bear up 3-0.
Welcome back to the first edition of Coach's Corner here for the 2018-19 school year. Of course, because we do have some new coaches in the district and it is football season, we're going to start our edition of Coach's Corner this year with new North St. Paul football coach Gene Tagland. Gene, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, the first question we'll start with, we ask all our coaches this: how'd you get your start in football?
Well, I mean, I played in high school, loved it there, and then went to play college football at Bethel, loved it more there. Then as I got older and kind of fell in love with coaching, where I was up in Becker, Minnesota with that, so just kind of started with youth and worked my way up into the varsity, and then we moved down here to take a high school job at New Life Academy and find myself here, so it's kind of grown from playing to coaching over the last 20 years.
So speaking of your transition here to North St. Paul, what was it about this Polar program that brought you into it?
You know, when I went through the interview process, I was really impressed with the interview process. I felt like they asked the right questions, and you could tell that they were really hungry for kind of a positive change, and it just kind of matched what they were looking for and what I was looking for, so that kind of really drew me to it. You know, I watched film, of prior years past. I could tell the guys like to hit, which is important for playing football, so it seemed to be a really good fit on both sides.
Well, when we talk about this North Polar squad, they made the state tournament in 2015, won one game in 16, and was winless last year. In your past record as a coach, you've turned around programs from 2-win, 4-win to a 6-win season. How do you plan on doing that here at North?
It starts with the guys just believing in themselves. I mean, I did it as a coach where I was before. We went to second finals after year 3. As a player, we went 3 years without a win, and then we were ranked in state as a senior. And at Bethel, 2 wins as a freshman, and then we were, in the kind of the finals with St. John's in my senior year. So as a player and coach, kind of been through it. And the main thing is just getting guys, one, to believe in each other, that they can win. understand their potential, get the potential out of them, and then put a system that matches what they can do. So, you know, when it comes to North St. Paul, I mean, it's a really talented group. I mean, very talented group. We just got to get them in a position where they can succeed, throwing the ball. There's some guys who can really run routes, catch the ball really well. I think we feel good where we're at quarterback. And then just getting to understand there's going to be ups and downs. We got to just stay with the system, no matter what. You don't let the outcome, you don't let the experience around you affect your effort every play. So it's a long process. I wish it was overnight, but it's not going to be. But I'm really excited about what these guys can do and the talent they have, and you know, we'll get there. There's no doubt about that.
Speaking of the student athletes on the field behind us, who are some players we can look out for this season to really make an impact with your team?
Well, I mean, you got Jeremy Walden, who was all district last year. I mean, he played both sides last year. He'll probably do that again this year. I mean, he loves to hit a defense. He's a really good running back. He fits really well with our run game system, so I look out for him. We bring in a transfer, Ben Teglin, who was a freshman who threw for over 1,500 yards. Knows the system really well. So that will help. Brendan Langford Johnson, a basketball guy, came out for football. He's a really special receiver, so looking forward to that. And we got some really good linemen too, that Mark Braley and Cy, who were returning linemen from last year, and I think our system fits what they are going to be good at. But it's a whole new system, so it's going to take some time. But I'd really look out for those guys. I think they're going to have good years.
Now, we've had the opportunity to watch your team practice. We've seen the style of practice that you guys have, but we haven't quite seen you in a game yet. Describe your team's style of play when we get into watching them on the
Well, I
field.
mean, on offense, we like to be balanced, you know, 50-50 run-pass. It doesn't always work out that way, but by the end of the year, we tend to be pretty much 50-50. We want the defense, we want to kind of dictate to the defense what we're going to do, make them react to what we're doing all the time. So they can expect the unexpected from that standpoint. On defense, we have Coach Tolley, who is at River Falls, and I'm really excited about what he's bringing. We'll have a lot of, I mean, North St. Paul likes to hit. I think it's always been that way, and I think this can be brought up to another level, the solid defense he's playing. So, you know, I think we'll be, I know we'll be entertaining on offense, on defense, and know we're gonna lay the wood a little bit and have some fun. So it should be a lot of fun on Friday night, and we hope they turn into wins.
Of course, when we look at the schedule, there's a lot of interesting matchups that we see on that schedule. Is there one that you're looking forward to the most?
Well, I think all the guys are looking forward to Tartan. I mean, that's I'm looking forward to having a real heated rivalry, so I think that will be good. I mean, I'm looking forward to our first game at St. Thomas Academy. It'll be just kind of, you don't really know where you're at until you play. I mean, St. Thomas Academy, really good program. They're always in the right place at the right time, so it'll be interesting to see where we're at. So, you know, the obvious rivals, Tartan, Matamidi, things like that.
The last question I'll ask you is, what are your goals as a coach here in North St. Paul in your first year?
Philosophically, I really want the guys, one, to believe in themselves and each other on the field. Off the field, same thing. I mean, this is a really smart group. I've been really impressed because we do a lot on offense. It's not easy from a schematic standpoint, and they're picking it up. So I really want them to get hold of that and believe how great they can become, and then hopefully that turns into wins.
Well, Coach, thanks for joining us here on the first edition of Coach's Corner for the school year, and best of luck to the Polar football program this season.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
This is your home for Polar football here on SEC Sports.
Having that desire to want to be a firefighter was something that I always wanted to do. I didn't start until I was 30 though, so it took me a little while to finally get up the courage to actually apply to a department and join.
Nobody in my family is from the fires or law enforcement services or EMS. Nobody was a nurse or a doctor or had any type of medical background at all whatsoever. My dad was a truck driver and my mom worked putting computer boards together. I think it was in my personality to be in this line of work.
My mom tells me when I was 5, you know, a lot of kids want to be a firefighter, want to be a police officer, want to be certain things, and it just never wore off on me.
It was just a normal day at work, and at my desk, had the radio on, and remember hearing him saying something about a plane may have crashed into one of the buildings, and didn't think much of it, and then a little bit later they were talking about another plane that had crashed.
We responded to an ambulance call that morning, and I was with our now retired chief, and we were on the ambulance, and he had gotten a phone call. It was before we returned to the station that he responded to that phone call and said a plane just flew into the towers in New York City.
It was a beautiful day, I remember that. It was, you know, bright blue sky. I'm also kind of a plane fanatic, especially military planes, and I'll never forget, I could hear late in the afternoon the sounds of a F-16 circling above me. That was surreal. You know, I'll never forget how quiet it was that night, and to hear the sounds of military aircraft patrolling our skies was, it was something. It was something I'll never forget.
I think it's something that's always in the back of my mind. I know recently I've been reading more stories about some of the first responders that are dying of cancer from that, and so there's always stuff that kind of comes up that makes me remember that day. I don't think it deterred me from ever wanting to become a firefighter. If anything, it probably made me want to become one even more. Just to see that there are people out there that were willing to risk their lives to save others. I think it made me want to do it even more than before that day.
It used to be, was the scene safe? And we always imagined the things we could see. Oh, there's a big fire. Okay, it's not safe. But what we didn't think about a lot then is the things we couldn't see. And we think about that now. I still love to help people. You know, events like 9/11 really didn't instill terror in me. It made me want to be able to help more.
I worry all the time about my employees. Obviously what happened on September 11th was of a grand scale, but there are things that happen across this country every day, and to the point now that some of them don't make the news, but they're still happening. And so it is very concerning to me.
They were going into a situation, they weren't really exactly sure what the situation was. They weren't sure what the outcome was going to be, but they went anyways because that was their job and that's what they were trained to do. And you know, even though I wasn't a firefighter at the time, they were still my brothers and sisters. And I just have the utmost respect for them for doing what they did on that day.
It was more about the terror of the day and what was really happening and all the events that were happening that day. And it was well after the fact for me that it really hit home how many people didn't go home from work that day.
There were firefighters that knew, you know, based on the radio transmissions, they weren't coming back. They knew that, but they did it anyway. I would thank them, you know, for what they did. And we don't think about it a whole lot because it's what we do, you know, but it is at great risk.
I had the pleasure of talking to White Bear Activities Director Brian Peliquin at halftime. We have a lot of mutual friends, especially Steve Engstrand and Larry Junkemeyer, Jim Galvin, among many others. Here you see one of the ball girls. I think they're from the 14 and under White Bear soccer team. You see Olivia Knoll had a tough first half, but it really wasn't her fault. Just the Bears are so strong offensively. They scored 23 goals in 7 games, so they're already at that mark right now, up 3-0. Back to midfield we go. There for the Raiders is Kelly Twalmanen. Roseville hustling back down on defense. Twalmanen will kick that out of bounds for a throw-in. Stone Yankees are beating the Twins 1-0 in the third. Big surprise there. It's sent forward by Twalmanen again. She's only a junior, and tied with the point lead for Roseville with 4. People have different scoring systems. Some go with a goal for 3 points for soccer and assist for 1. Of course, for hockey, it's just a point for each. Good throw in there by Roseville. To midfield. There's Dimmel. Down to the turf by the defender, but good help there at the last second by Courtney. Oh boy. I was kind of surprised that Lehner sent that one back out so quickly. When we have a chance, we'll take a look at the upcoming games you can see on SCC Sports.
Goal kick, White Bear left.
Again, talking to, here we go. So football, Tartan North St. Paul, of course a big rivalry there on the 14th. Volleyball, White Bear, well, Stillwater's a good one. That'll be a tough one. And the regular Sports Path show on the 19th. White Bear, Mountains View, that's, oh boy. I think the Bears shouldn't have too much trouble at that one. And then Tartan North St. Paul football. Out of bounds. And this will be another Roseville, White Bear throw-in. Matamidi, South St. Paul. South St. Paul's down a little bit this year. I don't think the Zephyrs will have too much trouble. Then White Bear, Woodbury. That should be a very interesting game. Woodbury 1-1 on the year. North St. Paul and Stillwater. That'll be a beauty. I know, again, the 12th is Roseville, North St. Paul, and then in later, I think mid-October is Roseville, Stillwater. And they have had a great rivalry with both of those teams. Polars, the Ponies, and the Raiders all very strong in volleyball. Good throw in here coming up by Sam Burkett, the junior. Nice job there by Audrey Schaefer to get it down on the turf. At midfield, the 2 number 9s after it, Stifter for Roseville and Showborough for White Bear, 2 of the better players on the pitch. Twalmanen sends it forward. That goes off of Dimmel. That was a great effort by both ladies. High in the air. And out of bounds. Throw in by Pharisee. Audrey is a sophomore. Again, White Bear has 2 freshmen starting tonight. Roseville had 1 freshman, Kimmy LaPalme, but unfortunately she tore her ACL over the summer, I believe. So she's the student manager. Nice move there by Townley to get it away from a couple of Roseville attackers. There's Stifter. Again, nice spin move there.
Who's over there?
I believe that was Showborough. Back out to midfield. Here is Kaylee Anderson. Quickly back the other way. Nice play by Kaylee Nelson. Nelson has her hamstring wrapped up a little bit. Hopefully she's all right. gets wrapped up a lot. We had the fortune of covering the basketball state quarterfinals, Roseville against Cretan. So Cretan had beat Roseville twice in the season, and the Raiders got some revenge on the Cretan Raiders as Roseville won 56-48. But then unfortunately were beat very handily by a great Hopkins team. That's one of the best state championships I've seen in quite a while, as Eastview went undefeated on the season and just barely held off the Royals. Hustling after it for the Bears is Racine, out of bounds. So the Bears to throw in. Coming back for it is Twominen. Nice little spin move by Eckerly. White Bear does not have a JV goalie listed, so I'm assuming that they must switch between the two varsity goalies, which makes sense. They're both underclassmen. So we certainly don't have any complaints about playing time, as offsides was Racine. They are about 85% completed of the new Allianz Stadium. They're just outside of the Midway area in St. Paul. It looks absolutely beautiful. The Minnesota Loons will be playing there after a couple seasons at TCF Bank Stadium. And he tripped up there was Callie. Coach for the Loons, Coach Heath thinks 5 wins could maybe get them in the playoffs. I don't know if that's doable this year. Great lead kick intended for Charlie Adam, but into the waiting arms of Null. 7.5 gone here in the second half. It's been all Bears. Again, goals by Townley on a penalty kick, Anderson off a corner, and then a beautiful one by Anna Racine on a breakaway with just 3 minutes left in the first half. That is smoked back out to midfield. Nice centering kick there by Dimmel. Forward by Barnes, hustling after it on the far side. Good centering kick, but sent well out of play. No, it wasn't out of play. Sorry, I thought that one was going to carry more. I think the wind might have held it up a little bit. Out of bounds. Throw in coming for the Bears, and again, it's Schoborough. Throw-in coming from Racine, it looks like, as getting a breather will be Pharisee and Dimmel. Well-deserved breather for her. Well, if this result holds, White Bear will go to 2-0 in the conference, 6-2 on the season. Roseville will go to 2-2 on the year, 1-1 in the Suburban East. There you see the current standings. Let's see here. Again, on Thursday, White Bear travels to Forest Lake. They should not have too much difficulty in that one. Roseville will have quite a bit of difficulty at Stillwater on the 13th. There again, the 3 really big games to look for there are 15th at home against Edina, number 1 in the state, 20th against Eastridge, and October 2nd at Stillwater. The plus there for the Bears is 2 of those 3 are here at White Bear Stadium. terms of not that you have too much of a home field advantage in soccer. But it's still nice to be in friendly surroundings. Nice steal there by Roseville's Drea Barnes, but the Bears get it back. Nice effort there again by Townley. Collision there. We're going to have a foul on the Bears.
Free kick, Roseville.
And again, White Bear in 2017 started out with a loss to the Cougars, 2-1. Oh, my mistake. This is 2016. Well, again, Roseville has not scored in the last 5+ halves against the Bears. And that dates back to 2016. Scores of 5-0, 4-0, and now 3-0. So we should have a corner kick opportunity for Roseville, and this will be Twamanen.
Corner kick, Roseville.
Chance to get on the board. Yeah, the Bears have just been steadily improving since 2016. They were 10-8 that year and 14-3 last year. High in the air, headed down to the turf. Good play from Crouch to Eckerly.
Free kick, White Bear Lake.
Bears. You see Sam Betterman, the captain for the Raiders. And Roseville has numerous volleyball players playing Division II college. Haley Koth, one of the best setters in Minnesota high school history. She's at Wayne State. Bria Maloney, a setter at Winona State. Olivia Garby and Julia Dayak are both at Mankato as this bounces high in the air. Good scoop by Lehner. As Roseville with one of their better opportunities right in front of the net. Here come the Bears quickly the other way. Lead pass, and that gets by no, and it'll be 4-0 as on the JV. Charlie Adam, I dare say that's probably her first goal of the year, at least on varsity. I think that was Twamanen with a good chance for Roseville. Swiped away by Lehner, and then quickly back on the attack were the Bears. Yeah, we'll get another look at it here as getting just by the defender, Audrey Pharisee. Charlie Adam with the goal.
Check that goal. Offsides, free kick.
Ooh. Oh, my mistake. I guess they took back the goal. They said offsides. So, I don't have to give Kirk Pacell any flack this time for not putting a goal up. So it's actually 3-0 White Bear. I spoke too soon. That sure was a late call. Again, you couldn't really hear the whistle, but Charlie Adam was evidently a little ahead of the ball. And again, there has to be at least one defender between you and the soccer ball, if you do not have it yet. I've always thought if you get within, say, like 6 feet of the net, that you can wave off offsides. It gets so murky in that area with so many players, but I'm not in charge of FIFA. Good centering pass, stolen away, a nice play there by Twamanen. She's been one of the bright spots for Roseville tonight in a game that's been dominated by the Bears. Really glad that Arlen Becker is on hand here tonight as the engineer. He had the pleasure of working with him in the past, mostly at what used to be St. Paul Arlington, now is the St. Paul Washington Tech and Magnet School. It's a beautiful setup for both volleyball and basketball coverage, because you get to be up at center court about 30 feet above court level, and everything's down there below you. It's just a spectacular place to watch and announce a big-time athletic event. And we'll go out of play. 24 and a half left in regulation. Substitution for the Bears as Heckman will get a break. Coming in, I think, is Chloe Simonek, again, also off the JV team. Wrestling down for Roseville is Ellie King, but that will go out of bounds. Interesting technique by Coach Cave. I think this is a great idea, actually. Once a week, they have a yoga class. It's kind of a recovery day to help the wear and tear on the body. There's pro athletes that do that these days. Especially good for stretching out your back and your core muscles. Good chance there again for Charlie Adam to get on the scoreboard when she thought she had the fourth goal of the game. Wholesale substitutions coming for Roseville. They've got 4 of them, as you can see there. This is a very similar setup to what I'm used to, with 2 cameras on the field and 2 on top of the press box here. Although again, this press box is 1,000 times better than the old wooden one. I've heard many good things about the new North St. Paul press box. It's actually got 2 levels. That sounds just beautiful. Great kick, but into the waiting arms of Knoll. Nice job there by the senior netminder. 18 minutes gone here in the second. White Bear had a quarterback about, I want to say 6-7 years ago, maybe even longer than that, Zach Zabadal. Excellent running quarterback. He pretty much single-handedly destroyed Roseville. He had 5 touchdowns in the last game of the regular season and then the first playoff game against the Raiders. His father's a good friend of mine. He runs all of the softball leagues and the lake up at the Village Inn. George plays for a very good 50 years and over traveling team called the Minnesota Lumberjacks. A lot of their players are from northern Minnesota. He also does a lot of softball and basketball officiating. Knoll with the kick. Here come the subs. It's actually going to be 5 of them, and then 1 for White Bear. That's Haley Highland back in. Desiree Cremine is the assistant coach. Sasha Van Voorhees is the goalie coach for Roseville. Assistant coaches for the Bears are Mike Witt, Marie Cox, and Sarah Forstel. And Roseville won their only state championship in girls soccer. That was 1988, not too long after the merger of Ramsey and Kellogg. They had co-head coaches, brothers, Tom and Jerry Weaver. Excellent gentlemen. The goalie from that team, who was all-state for 2 years, Denise Zaver, went on to Creighton University in Omaha and was an excellent goalie there for 4 years. Centering kick goes off of Roseville for a corner. So we're past the midway point here of the second half. Yeah, unfortunately, from my perspective, a lot of changes
Corner kick.
over at CTV North Suburbs, as they had to cut almost 40% of their budget. And in doing so, a lot of layoffs up and down their employee roster. Nice block there by the Roseville defense. And that's taken in there. Their facility now is just beautiful. It's on Arthur Street, not too far from the Roseville Walmart. For the longest time, they were at the old Lake Owasso Elementary School. That was a rickety old place. Here come the Bears on the attack again. Good chance there in the middle for Kayla Anderson. Shot put on, saved by Knoll. Rebounds loose, Anderson back out. There's a shot into the waiting arms of Knoll on a one-timer. Good chance there for Eckerly. Got to the point to where the school district wanted to sell the land. So they told CTV, if you don't move out, we're going to turn off the heat on you. So that was, I think, a pretty easy decision. Of course, CTV represents a 9-city area. Includes 4 high schools, plus Concordia Academy, but we really don't cover any of their athletics. 2 more substitutions for Roseville. There's a Tostengard back in. Yep. And you see the first initial save by Knoll. Boy, she has played some splendid goaltending tonight. There in the first half, she made back-to-back saves in the span of about 5 seconds. That was really something. Nice steal there by Tuominen again. This will be sent back and quickly back the other way. Ava Benson almost intercepted that one. Now here's Tuominen. Gets by a defender, by another one. And I think she was trying to set it up for Ava Benson, but she couldn't get to it. So goal kick Bears.
Goal kick, White Bear Lake.
.24 minutes gone here in the second half. Throw in for the Raiders. In Roseville with their first home football game of the season. They were at Anoka and at Woodbury. Won both by over 2 touchdowns. And again, the Bears winning at Centennial 28-27. That was really good to see. First time in 19 games that they had won.
Corner kick, Roseville.
And I think they hosted Osseo when they won 24-14. It's kind of tough to tell when both teams are pretty much all orange and black. High in the air towards the near post. Feist heads it wide.
Goal kick, White Bear Light.
Also a good friend of mine, he sponsored our 50 years and over softball team for quite some time. Ken Lohr owns the Flame in Matamidi, just on the outskirts of White Bear. Sold it over the summer.
Free kick, Roseville.
Free kick in White Bear territory. This is Kelly Twamanen again. Short kick. Three White Bear players kind of anticipating that. That goes off the Bears. Smart play there. I cannot pick out the number from this far away. Another throw in. This looks like it'll be Dimmel. This is Sierra Dimmel, one of the seniors. Very hard worker for the Raiders. She seems to be all over the place. She runs just about as much as anybody. That's sent forward by Betterman. Her brother was on the boys varsity. That won earlier today, 4-2. Here is Rayleigh Wallace. Throw-in coming from Wallace. She was really working hard a couple minutes ago to try and get Roseville on the scoreboard. To no avail. Also a former standout White Bear hockey player, Mason Fiddle, was an excellent all-state golfer. He's now currently with the Golden Gophers on a scholarship. And his father, Jesse, pretty well. And again, Sydney Sheeran, I think she graduated in the off-season, or she might be a junior or a senior, but either way, she'll be with the Gophers in the very near future. Throw in for Roseville, and this will be Betterman. Nice job there by Tostengard to cut off the White Bear player. And multiple subs coming for the Bears. Well, when the sun goes down, it sure cools off in a hurry. You see a lot of blankets out now. Sure didn't need any around 5 o'clock when this doubleheader started. That will be saved by Roseville. Nice job there by Tostengard off of Twamanen. Along the goal line, it's going to be offsides on Roseville. "11 minutes left in the game." And Kirk Purcell used to be PA announcer for the Chicago Wolves. He's been a whole lot of other places. Of course, he does a lot of the work at Aldrich Arena for the section playoffs, which is a tremendous place to watch a hockey game. And for quite some time has now been the PA voice of Minnesota Golden Gopher volleyball, which I know he really enjoys, as they've had one of the top 10 programs in the nation under head coach Hugh McCutcheon, who also was the coach of the Olympic team. Is he certainly one of the best coaches in the nation. Throw in by the Bears. Coming back the other way off of Roseville. Throw in for a White Bear at the 10-minute mark. Again, the Bears only lost 2 games in the regular season in 2017. I think White Bears are going to have a tough time holding up to those standards, but they probably won't be too far off. If you can win 2 out of 3 against Edina, Stillwater, and Eastridge, I'd say you're doing really well. If somehow White Bear could sweep them, they might get up in the top 3 in the state, especially if you beat Edina. They're currently number 1. And again, that's Saturday the 15th. If you have a chance, I would highly suggest coming down here for that contest. It should be a great one. So that's about 4 days away. Nice effort by Roseville's Tuominen again, getting through defenders. Shot put on, punched high and out of play. It'll be a corner kick. One of Roseville's best chances of the night. Nice save by Lehner. And we'll take another look. Tuominen hustling down, getting by a defender, and another one. Smart move to kind of steer away from Showborough. And punched over the crossbar, and Tuominen will get rewarded for that effort. She'll make the corner kick here. High in the air. Oh, decent chance there for Feist. Now it goes all the way over to the far side of the field. Roseville will maintain control, at least for now. Tuominen has it stolen away. Beautiful play there by Burkett. Boy, she had an excellent game. This will be a throw-in for Roseville, however. That's Tostengard. Between 2 defenders, good work there by Tuominen. Certainly not a lack of effort, as I think this will be another Roseville throw-in. Nice job sending it forward there by Regina Ziegler. White Bear regains control. Back for the Raiders. And into the waiting arms of Lehner. Again, she is a sophomore. Their junior goalie has phenomenal numbers on the season. 86% save percentage, just shy of that. Goals against of 1.41. Bella DiGiorno, who did not start tonight, save percentage right at 86, goals against at .76, and 3 shutouts. But it certainly wasn't Olivia Knoll's fault tonight. I think Roseville could have had Hope Solo in the nets, and it wouldn't have made much of a difference. Or Brianna Scurry, for those of you remembering, 4-0 Bears. And this is going to be Lauren Eckerly. Eckerly, the freshman, with her 3rd goal on the season. So again, if this holds up, White Bear will have outscored Roseville 13-0 in the last 3 meetings. Again, nothing Knoll could do on that. Just a beautiful shot in the upper near corner.
Lauren Eckerly. Eckerly scoring in the 74th.
I think Roseville will be happy to not play the Bears anymore for another year, unless, unfortunately, these teams meet in the section playoffs, which, of course, is a distinct possibility. You would think Roseville will get a higher seed than they did last year. They were number 7. think this is what I'm looking for. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, last year's section, North St. Paul and Tartan, they both had really tough seasons. Only 3 wins between them. That was actually a play-in game to play against White Bear. Of course, the Bears beat Tartan by 7. Roseville was the 7th seed. I think they'll do better than that this year. They'll certainly be ahead of Mounds View, possibly Woodbury, possibly Central. Not Central. Roseville lost to Central 3-0. 5 minutes left in the game. But certainly a logjam between those top 3 teams. And again, that's where you want to be the 1 seed. That way you avoid one of your familiar, difficult opponents in the semis. White Bear, Stillwater, Eastridge. There are 6 North Suburban teams, not North Suburban, Suburban East teams. Central from the St. Paul City Conference, and then Tartan and North St. Paul from the Metro. Also, one interesting thing that will affect both these teams in 2019, entering the Suburban East will be the Irondale Knights. They are switching over from the Northwest Suburban. Maybe a little bit for travel reasons, but also for rivalries. Of course, Mounds View and Irondale, both in District 621, are arch rivals. So that'll be a nice, pleasant addition to the Suburban East Conference. Also get them to an even number of teams at 10, which certainly helps with scheduling. High in the air, deep in White Bear territory, but right there, Johnny on the spot, is Lehner. I don't know if anybody will be joining the Northwest Suburban. They're at 14 teams as it is. And there had been talk of Park maybe joining the Metro, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. After Hastings left, there was thoughts that Park might join them, but when you consider Park, Woodbury, and Eastridge are all in the South Washington district, you would think it would make sense to keep them together. I have a difficult time feeling bad for Hill Murray in football. Of course, they're not really a football school. Vikings colorman Pete Bursich is now their head coach, but they lost at Hastings 36-6 on Friday. And they lost their first game handily as well. I think it was to Holy Angels. Under 3 minutes left. As Racine tosses it there to Burkett. They both have had excellent evenings here. And I'd say a mild upset as Lakeville South beat defending state champion Eden Prairie in football 14-0. It's another one I certainly didn't mind. High in the air, Null will take it in. Roseville currently ranked number 8 in the Metro. I think that's a little early for the Raiders to be ranked, but we'll see. Stillwater will be an interesting test. It is something when you consider the success they had in the 80s and the 90s under longtime coach George Thole. With all the kids they have and their feeder system, they just have really struggled in football. They're 0-2 this year, and they didn't have a very good record last year either. Nice job by the Raiders as they try and get on the scoreboard here with 90 seconds left to break the shutout. Roseville had those 2 scoreless shutouts, which is unusual, against Spring Lake Park and Jefferson. They shut out North St. Paul, were shut out by Central, and then shut out Tartan. Also, Creighton-Durham Hall, 2-0. They're ranked in the top 5 in the state. Had a very interesting overtime win over Totino. They trailed Mounds View 14-3 before scoring 32 points in a row to beat the Mustangs by 3 touchdowns. Out of bounds off of Roseville. into null. Unfortunately, her goals against is going to go up a little bit. Roseville maybe trying for one last chance, but that'll go out for a throw-in, and that should just about do it. Again, the Bears will stay at number 5 in the state. The rankings usually come out on Monday, so that game against Edina looms very large on Saturday as White Bear hosts the Hornets. And that game will be 1 p.m. in the afternoon on Saturday the 15th. So if you have a chance, you certainly might want to check that one out. It's two of the best teams in the upper Midwest. My sincere thanks to a great camera and technical crew here from SCC Sports. I'm Jerry Otto. Thanks for watching. And you'll get a chance to see our talented crew in the credits and see some highlights as Roseville boys win 4-2 and the Roseville girls losing here on a tough one as White Bear showing you why they're number 5 in the state of Minnesota with a 4-0 shutout over Roseville. Good night, everybody.